This is John Black, super chemist. Hopefully I got it on the right video.
Opposing pedophilia is not cancel culture. It's as simple as that. So now that we've addressed anyone annoying enough to have that takeaway from this video, let's move on. It all started with Balenciaga's horrific choice to feature BDSM teddy bears in an ad with child models. The photos set the internet on fire, rightfully so. The ads feature children laying down with the BDSM teddy bears, being surrounded by beer bottles, wine, fishnets, and an assortment of items that are just not appropriate to be in photos with child models. The children are in bed. It's just a really bad look. And on its face, this is bad enough.
If you can't make out the pictures, this looks like a collar. I can't make out a lot of the stuff, but yeah, some of it looks like BDSM stuff or whatever you call it.
Right? This is a PR disaster just on its own. But what no one was prepared for was that these photos would actually open up a Pandora's box, revealing years of subtle and not so subtle imagery in Balenciaga ads relating to and specifically depicting very clear picture painted that Balenciaga is run by pedophiles. In my opinion, of course. In past fashion shows, Balenciaga has made a point to specifically relate these teddy bears to abuse, featuring models that are covered in bruises and blood. Why they would choose those same items to be in photos with children is going to make more sense as we go along, but, you know, there's one thing. Meet the photographer behind the teddy bear BDSM shoot, Gabriel Galimberti, and just a heads up, I'm going to has come up where he is publicly questioning why restrict child but not guns.
Why restrict child porn but not guns?
I can think of a lot of reasons, but I don't think the point is to really answer that stupid question that we're going to be unveiling in this video. Speaking of CP, take a look at this ad for a Balenciaga ad. It looks innocent, looks benign at face value, right? But let's just zoom, and you can see that there's a document laying beneath the purse, and that document says a lot. It's a Supreme Court ruling from Ashcroft versus Free Speech Coalition. Now, this ruling actually reversed a significant portion of the Child Prevention Act of 1996. Now, why is that important?
They're talking about child porn here. This is a win for the pedophiles, this case.
This is one of the wins for the pedos. This was good news for the pedos. Basically what it did was it ruled that the ban on virtual CP, think of drawings, artwork, you know, CGI, that was within the bounds and it was legal. So again, this was a win for the seediest people among us, pedos, and so it's not exactly a document that any brand that's concerned about their public image would want to display in an ad, and yet Balenciaga did it. And again, if it was only this incident of this one document that some rogue producer on a shoot put in, and somehow, which is really impossible, but somehow, if you really stretch your mind, just slip past all the people that are hired to check for things like that for Balenciaga. Here's another Balenciaga ad that at first glance seems like nothing, but again, we're going to do some zooming here. There's a book in the background. The author of this book in the stack is by Michael Bormans. Michael Borman's most famous work is called Fire from the Sun, which features imagery of child dismemberment of children, bloody children. Honestly, like most of the art, I am not going to want to show on this video, but just know, you can do your own research, it's bad. It's really bad. There's no reason for there to be yet another example of subliminal messaging when it comes to child in a Balenciaga ad within Western culture. If you disagree, you're free to disagree, but in my opinion, you're just not paying attention. Meet one of the hottest stylists in fashion who worked at Balenciaga for years, Loda Volkova. She's a Russian fashion editor who has worked with a ton of huge brands, most notably being Balenciaga. She also has a personal relationship with an accused pedophile. We're going to get to that. It's important to look at someone's social media to really get a good idea of who they are, right? So if you're looking at Blaire White's social media, you're going to see me, you know, with makeup that I'm proud of putting on my face, with my guns, with my dog, of my life, that it's overtaking your feed. Imagery of children tied to chairs, being dismembered, in general distress, or just in positions that are clearly like compromising positions are abundant on her social media. It's clearly an obsession. And say hello to those teddy bears making a return on Loda's Instagram, this time a little more blunt than even the ads. Now let's look at the creative director of Balenciaga, Denma. Denma made a very interesting statement about Loda himself and their other friend who we're going to get to, saying this. Someone wrote that Loda Volkova, Gosha, and I grew up on
child pornography is what she's trying to say.
And radiation from Chernobyl, which is why we're all so effed up. When someone tells you who they are, with the added context of actual child imagery on their social media. This could be a dark joke that someone who has no proximity to actual child abuse could potentially make about themselves and their friends. I get it, people say dark things, but you don't say it again with the added context of oh, and I have child imagery on my social media, and I work for a brand that's consistently putting child imagery in their ads. Look at him. Oh, shocker. He has been literally accused of soliciting nudes from an underage boy, 16 to be precise. It's very, telling that along this trail, this person also is there, right? A boy who accused him posted the conversation, which you can see here. Send me now something from the bathroom. I can't. It is my mom's bedroom. You can go to the bathroom and do it quickly, please. I don't believe your mom. Come to the bathroom together with you. Obviously, English isn't this person's first language, so it's not me speaking correctly. She doesn't go with me. She's in there now. Can go when she's gone. Okay. Please. What is this desperation? You sick. We'll try. Otherwise, tomorrow. Can't wait for tomorrow. Wow. I mean, these people show you who they are. This is not complicated. And they very obviously get off on mocking you, showing you who they are in public, and maintaining just the right amount of cover of being artistic that they get away with it. Check out this video of Balenciaga handing out bloody purses with fake babies in them.
What's in your bag?
In my bag, shop for a baby.
Can we do what's in your bag? Yeah, can we do what's in the bag, please? Should I hold it for you and you can take things out? Excuse me.
Yeah. Look, there's when she starts to cry, then when she's gonna pee, I don't know. Then when she's boring,
she's boring.
Yeah, everything possible.
I'm glad I waited a week to do a video about this, because every day that I've waited, more things have come out about this, and it's just one that I'm going to heavily censor because they are that graphic, but they mannequins. Did you know that? I'm not going to put any of the photos up, minus one that I'm going to. The CEO of Balenciaga's parent company sells child mannequins. Did you know that? I'm not going to put any of the photos up, minus one that I'm going to heavily censor because they are that graphic, but they are essentially all mannequins of children, some with their legs spread, with their genitals exposed, and deformations on their face, with genitals growing out of their face, holes in their face. It's if this really just all has to do with art, and y'all are just so edgy, and just the little people just don't get it, right? I'm sorry, are you interested in art depicting anything other than child? Because at this point, it's all you can find on their socials. The CEO's name is Francis Henry Pinault, and he is Salma Hayek's husband. What's up, Salma? So let's just check in, because this is a lot, right? This brand canceled this person, refused to work with this person. All they do is condemn stuff. And I tweeted, and I stand by my tweet, and this one actually went very viral, I think, just because it's objectively true, that if Balenciaga had done an ad that offended the LGBT community, say they made some sort of slight against non-binary people or something, every celebrity that works with them would have come out overnight and denounced them. Why don't we see that same type of reaction here? You tell me in the comments. In a world where people and brands are getting canceled for decade-old tweets and for the slightest violation of woke law, right? No one can find it within themselves in the public sphere to be Balenciaga, has very begrudgingly even covered this story, and the ones that are covering it are often, in a way, defending or trying to deflect and write this off as a right-wing conspiracy theory. Kim Kardashian is one of the only celebrities to actually come forward, say it's disgusting. However, She's currently reevaluating her relationship with the brand. Now, Kim routinely appears in Balenciaga ads. In many ways, Kim is sort of synonymous with Balenciaga. Certainly, when I think of Balenciaga, I think of people like Kim Kardashian, Cardi B, who made their sneakers.
I remember Cardi B, Kardashian, these are all Diddy tape people. Diddy tape people. They're pedophiles.
Very famous and sold those out. You know, there are certain celebrities that are just very silent that have appeared in a lot of these ads. Kendall Jenner. What's going on, guys? I mean, Kim Kardashian is so independently rich from Balenciaga. Like, she has income stream upon income stream. She probably has more income streams than, like, almost any other celebrity. So the fact that she needs that one extra anti-LGBTQ cancerous television programs on television had some thoughts as well.
What's going on here?
I found this ad campaign particularly distasteful in this moment. So there's growing anti-LGBTQ sentiment right now, and how it's being framed is as portraying, you know, trans people as groomers. This is a term you'll hear on the far right. They're groomers. This is where you get the anti-drag queen stuff that we're seeing. So Balenciaga played right into their hands by having kids in a sexualized manner, carrying something that represents, you know, sex acts. I think it was a really bad misstep at a moment where it's just kind of a dangerous time to even give credence to those kind of insane takes.
Yeah. Now, this is the dumbest woman I've potentially ever heard speak on television, and it's actually quite shocking that, you know, someone like that can even end up on television spewing their bullshit. How is condemning pedophilia a unique Balenciaga bracelet that has 2 A's to spell prospectively because we're evil? I mean, this is, you don't have to believe in God or the devil to admit there are people working in the interests of God and the devil prospectively because they believe in it. There are examples upon examples of Satanism, occult imagery seen in Balenciaga ads. There's one ad in particular where there's a special, unique Balenciaga bracelet that has 2 A's to spell out Balenciaga rather than 1. And if you enter Baal in Ciaga in Google Translate, guess what it says? It says Baal is the king. Baal is another word for the devil. So again, I don't have to believe in the devil to be like, wow, these are some devil-worshipping asses, right? And call me crazy, but I just don't want that kind of energy on my body or in a bag that I'm holding or sneakers on my feet in general. If that's their vibe, that's not a vibe I want on me and in my space. Balenciaga's response has been piss poor. And I mean, they have to be panicking, but the way they're handling it is pretty, I mean, third that I'm filming this video, they have dropped that lawsuit. Why? Because it wasn't just the producers, it's the whole company, clearly. Denma, the creative director, who publicly said that he grew up on child pornography, issued a public apology. I want to personally apologize for the wrong artistic choice of concept for the gifting campaign with the kids, and I want to take my responsibility, the designer wrote. It was inappropriate to have kids promote objects that had nothing to do with them. He continued, adding that although he wants to provoke a thought in his campaigns, he would never have an intention to do that with an awful subject as child. And yet you did. And yet you've joked about it in the past. And yet you're friends with someone who's actually accused of pedophilia. And yet you're friends with Loda, who has nothing but child on her social media. Now I want to say one thing. This had me thinking. Groups, the way humans work in groups is they naturally gravitate towards other people of that group. This is just a fact. We are tribal beings. And the same way that gay people tend to hang out with gay people, black people tend to hang out with black people, white people tend to hang out with white people, with obvious exceptions, we live in a very diverse world, still rings true that there are neighborhoods of cultivated communities, right? This is just a fact. I don't really see why pedophiles would operate any differently. Seems to me.
Notice that they are getting, in this, you know, they only mentioned it once, but they were talking about Baal, or however she pronounced it, Baal or whatever. Baal is a god. If you watch the movies, Stargate, you know, the series, the TV series, you know who Baal is. He's one of the, you know, one of the gods. Yeah, so the next video, I'm going to try to get some, you know, showing you the subliminal messages that they're doing with the satanic stuff. And you all just think it's nothing.